back again to my YouTube channel. I am here because of some students that requested for a review on pressure. I believe that at the end of this video, you'll be able to solve problems involving pressure. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, please do well to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out. And if at the end of this video, and you still have some other topic that you need a review on before you write your exam that will enable you score 90 and above, make sure you drop in the comment section with the day you're going to write the exam. I will make sure I send that video before that day. With no further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, before I go into problems involving pressure, you need to understand the concept and how it is measured, okay? So I want you to stick to the end of this video and thank me later. Gas pressure is defined as the force per unit area exerted by the gas. And the instrument used for measuring this gas pressure is called manometer. This manometer consists of a U-tube, that is, look at the tube, it is this way, right? It contains water or mercury. It has two openings because it's a U-tube, so it's like this, has two openings. Now, this side of this manometer is connected to the gas supply, that is where the gas is coming out from, while this other side is connected to the what? Atmosphere, that is up, right? You can see the atmospheric pressure acting on it. So you must pay attention. Let me explain what happens. Once the tap of this gas supply is open, it's going to exert a pressure on what? A. Remember, at first it was here at this line what? Or this point B. Okay? As soon as the tap from this gas supply is open, it's going to push out the pressure and exert it on this A, point A. The point A is going to push out this one to make the water inside here to do what? To rise to a certain level, which is now at what? C. And this height is now higher than what? Point B. Then after a while, this water level are steady, then the pressure at A will now be equal to the what? The pressure of the liquid at what? At B. Because this other side is open to the atmosphere, it can no longer be the same level with this one. So the pressure at B becomes the atmospheric pressure plus the pressure due to the height of water, what? H. Do we understand? So if you're asked to find the total pressure when this tube is open, it becomes total pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure plus the pressure due to the height of water, H. Do you understand? So what am I trying to say in a nutshell? When you see a diagram like this of a manometer, and this is a gas supply, and the height of this water here is higher than what? That of the what? Of the pressure at A. What are you going to do? You're going to add that height to the atmospheric pressure. That becomes the total pressure. Do we understand? Alright. Now looking at this diagram, we are using mercury instead of what? Water. So now we are going to realize that if some trapped air is released from here, you're going to realize that the pressure at B, which is the atmospheric pressure, is less than what? The pressure at what? A. So what am I trying to say? We are going to say that the total pressure here is equals to PA minus what? H. Is that clear? So what am I saying in a nutshell? That if you see a manometer and the height of water level here is now higher than what? The pressure at what? This point here. You're going to do what? You're going to add to the atmospheric pressure to get the total pressure. Okay? But when you come to this diagram and you find out that the pressure at P is higher than the atmospheric pressure with this difference H. Okay? We are going to do what? Subtract. Do we understand? So let's look at some examples. In the diagram below, the atmospheric pressure is 760 millimeters. The pressure in the chamber G is what? You have the following options. Option A, 660 millimeter. Option B, 690 millimeters. Option C, 830 millimeters. And option D, 860 millimeters. Now I told you that if you looked at in a manometer, if this side now, this is open to the atmosphere and the height of water here is higher than what? The level of the pressure here. What are you going to do? You subtract, okay? So for you to get the total pressure is going to be what? Atmospheric pressure minus the difference. You understand? So what is the difference between this? Difference between it is 10 minus 3. That gives us 7. Do we understand? So the height is equals to 10 minus what? 3. Going to give us what? 7. But this is 7 what? Centimeter. You need to convert it to millimeter simply by multiplying by 10 to give us what? H is equals to 70 millimeter. Why am I converting to millimeter? Because the atmospheric pressure is in millimeter. So the total pressure here is equals to the atmospheric pressure plus what? Height. Is that clear? So what is the atmospheric pressure? I have 760 millimeters plus 70 millimeters. Is that clear? Simply by adding them together, and the total answer becomes 830 millimeters. Do we understand? So this is just the way we used to solve it. Now, if the height here is greater than what? The side facing the atmosphere, you're just going to do what? Subtract. Do you understand it now? Now, from what we've done so far, the correct option to this question is option C. Now, this is an application of Boyle's law to gas trapped in a cylindrical tube by a column of mercury. So look at this. I'm just going to go straight to the point. Now, if the tube is vertically upwards with the bottom end closed, this is what we call the mercury thread. It's this mercury thread that trapped some air inside here, right? So we're using the application of this to solve Boyle's law problem, but it relates to pressure because we are going to ask you to calculate the atmospheric pressure at the end of the day. Okay, so look at this diagram closely. One thing you must know is this: if the tube is open and the bottom end is closed, you're going to calculate the total pressure. The total pressure here, which is your P1, is equals to atmospheric pressure plus what? H, right? Now, because this is Boyle's law stated that what? PV, right, is equals to what? Constant. Okay, so the volume here becomes my what? L1. Do you understand? So what am I trying to say? Once the tube is facing up with the end closed or with the bottom closed, how are you going to calculate the total pressure? Because the atmospheric pressure is acting on it, you are going to calculate the total pressure by saying what? PA plus what? H. Do you get it now? If it is vertical with the open end closed, how do you calculate the total pressure? The total pressure, which will be your P2 here, is what? PA minus what? H. Is that clear? Then the V2 will now becomes what? L2. Is it clear? Alright. Then come to the last one. Because it is lying horizontally, how do you calculate the total pressure? The total pressure, which will be your P3, is equals what? The PA. The total pressure here is equals the atmospheric pressure. And your V3 becomes what? L3. Do you understand? Alright, so with this knowledge you can solve problems. So let's go. Now, for us to solve this problem, we are given this diagram, okay? The question says when this first tube is what? Vertically upwards with the under end closed, right? Now we should calculate the atmospheric pressure. So with this diagram, we can calculate our atmospheric pressure simply by saying the length of mercury thread, which is what? 15. Because this tube is facing up and atmospheric pressure is acting on it, the total pressure, which is P1 here, will be what? PA plus what? H, right? So this is what? P1 is equals to PA plus what? What's my H? My H is what? 15. Is that clear? So what's my V1 here? My V1 is what? L1. Do you understand? Now to the second diagram, because it is facing what? Down. My total pressure, which is P2 here, will now be what? PA minus what? H. Okay? Then V2 is equals to what? L2. Now from this diagram, my L1 is given as 10 centimeters, right? And my L2 is given as what? 15 centimeters. If you have gotten to this level, you can comfortably solve this without stress. So let's use Boyle's law to solve the problem by stating that P1 V1 is equals to what? P2 V2, right? So what is my P1? My P1 is PA plus 15, so I have what? PA plus 15, then bracket what? 10 is equals to, my P2 is what? PA minus H, right? I will say, okay, sorry, this my H here is 15. Okay. So my P2 is what? PA minus what? H. And my H is constant, which is what? 15. So I will say 15 bracket. What's my V2? My V2 is my L2, which is what? 15. Okay, so let's open the bracket. 10 multiplied by this is going to give me 10 PA plus 150, right? Is equals to 15 PA minus 225. Okay, collection of like terms. So we have 10 PA minus 15 PA is equals to minus 225 minus 150. Okay, Now when you work out this one, it's going to give me 5 pa is equals to, this is minus 5 pa is equals to minus 375. So by the time we divide by minus 5, okay, this cancels this, right? So my pa is now equals to 75 centimeter mercury. Do we understand? I hope that is clear. Correct option to this question is option C. The atmospheric pressure due to water is 1.3 times 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. What is the total pressure at the bottom of an ocean 10 meters deep? We have the density of water as 1000 kilogram per meter cubed. We have G as 10 meters per second square. We have the following options. Option A, 1.3 times 10 to the power of 7 Newton per meter square. Option B, 1.4 times 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. Option C, 1.4 times 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. Option D, 1.0 times 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. Given the atmospheric pressure, PA, 1.3 times 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. And we are giving height, which is of the ocean, as H, which is 10 meters. We are giving density 1000 kilogram per meter cube, and we are giving G to be 10 meters per second square, right? So the total pressure we are looking for is what? The total pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure plus the pressure due to what? Due to the depth or the height of water, that is rho g h. Is that clear? So let's just substitute what we have. My atmospheric pressure is 1.3 times 10 to the power of 6, then plus the density is 1000, G is 10, and height is equally what? 10. By the time you multiply, you're going to have what? 1.3 times 10 raised to the power 6, then plus 10 raised to the power of what? 5. Is that clear? And by the time you add, it's going to give us what? 1 times 10 raised to the power of what? 6 Newton per meter square. Is that clear? So this is how to solve this type of problem. I hope that is clear. The correct option to this question is option B. Calculate the pressure of water at the bottom of a pool 6 meters deep if the density of water is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. We have G as 10 meters per second square. We have the following options. Option A, 5 times 10 to the power of 4 Newton per meter square. Option B, 6 times 10 to the power of 4 Newton per meter square. Option C, 4 times 10 to the power of 4 Newton per meter square. Option D, 6 times 10 raised to the power of 2 Newton per meter square. In this question, we are asked to calculate the pressure. The first thing that will come to our mind is for us to do what? State our parameters by saying that the height is equal to 6 meters. That is, height is 6 meters, right? And we are given the density to be 1000 kilogram per meter cube, right? And G is equals to 10 meters per second square, right? Then the pressure that we are looking for is rho g h. Is that clear? So let's just substitute and get our answer. This one is quite simple. So let's go. We have that pressure is equals to, what's my rho? 1000 times G is 10 times height is what? 6. Simply by multiplying, and I'm going to have what? 60,000 Newton per meter square. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Now this is 6.0 times 10 to the power of what? 4 Newton per meter square. I hope you understand. And from what we've got so far, the correct option to this question is option B. If this video was able to help someone out there, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to get notified each time I post videos. And lastly, do not forget to share so that other students that are preparing for this same forthcoming exam can see it and learn from there. I will see you next time in the next one. Bye for now.